Once upon a time, in a small village called Umunze, a young couple, Norma and Chukwu, welcomed their newborn daughter, Aku. The birth was a joyful occasion, but it was soon overshadowed by a sense of unease. As Aku grew, the villagers began to notice strange things about her. She was born with a beautiful blue eyes, a rare occurrence among the Igbo people. The villagers had never seen anything like that before. The villagers were both fascinated and intimidated by Aku's unusual eye color. They could often stare at her, trying to understand the meaning behind that piercing blue eye. As Aku grew older, the villagers began to notice other strange things about her. She could often stare into space, and her eyes could gleam with an otherworldly intensity. She could also speak in a language that no one could understand. The villagers were afraid of Aku, and they began to distance themselves from her. They could whisper among themselves, pointing fingers at Aku and calling her an ogbanje, a reincarnated child. Norma and Chukwu were heartbroken. They loved their daughter, but they didn't know how to protect her from the villagers. As Aku grew older, the villagers' fear turned into hostility. They could refuse to sell food to Norma, and they could mock Aku whenever she walked by. But Aku was not like other children. She had supernatural powers that she didn't understand. She could hear animals, and she could sense when someone was sick. One day, a terrible sickness swept through the villagers, killing many people. The villagers were desperate and they didn't know what to do. Aku, who was now a young girl, decided to use her powers to help the villagers. She went from house to house, healing the sick and comforting the grieving. At first, the villagers were skeptical, but as they saw Aku's power with their own eyes, they began to believe. They realized that Aku was not a curse, but a blessing. The villagers apologized to Norma and Chukwu for their cruelty, and they begged Aku to continue using her powers to help them. Aku, who had once been shunned and rejected, was now celebrated and revered. She became known as the village healer, and people came from all over to seek help. Norma and Chukwu were proud of their daughter, and they knew that Aku's power were a gift from the gods. As Aku's fame grew, people began to ask her about her blue eyes. Aku didn't know the answer, but she knew that it was part of her uniqueness. One day, a wise old man came to the village. He was an expert in the ancient traditions of the Igbo people. He looked at Aku's blue eyes and nodded. "Oh, I see," he said. "You are a child of the gods. Your blue eyes is a sign of your divine heritage." Aku was amazed. She had never heard anything like that before. The old man continued, "You have a great destiny ahead of you. Aku, you will use your power to heal and help many people." Aku's heart swelled with both pride and purpose. She knew that she had a special role to play in the world, and so Aku lived happily ever after, using her powers to heal and help those in need. Her blue eyes became a symbol of her uniqueness